On September the 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Stay seated for a moment of sitting reflection. Thank you very much. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we're extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. We'll move on to the mayor's address. So I'd like to start by extending a warm welcome to our new Public Works Superintendent, Adrian Thomasini. Adrian started work with Algona Wilberforce today. In addition, I want to thank Doug Eichen and the Public Works staff for the excellent job in maintaining our roads and parks during these past 3 months while being short-staffed. On behalf of council and myself, I would like to thank our summer students and wish them good luck on their return to school. During the month of August, I attended 10 meetings on municipal and organic business, as well as the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, conference in London. Conference in London hosted over 3,000 delegates from across the province. The summary of the conference highlights is attached. On Saturday, August 19th, 2023, I participated in the SPCA Doggy Paddle Community Relay Race at Melissa Bishop Park. The event was a huge success in spite of the strong winds and waves. The event raised over $20,000 for the sheltering family. Special thanks to Naila's Kitchen for providing the excellent takeout food that was provided 3 days a week from our canteen at Melissa Bishop Park during the summer. In conversation with owner Divya Ivek, she was very pleased with the support she received from the public, the community, and our municipal staff. Diva indicated she would be willing to offer a cooking course at the Lake Dory Lodge next summer. Pulverization of Roosler Road and rehabilitation of Bessop Road have been completed, and work on Lake Dory Road is in progress. Great news from the 2023 Olympic Community Votes team that Melissa Bishop Park and Beach won a bronze in the Child Play Spaces category. Members of the community in this year's campaign cast 44,742 nominations and votes. At the August 30th, 2023 County Council meeting, County Council passed the amended resolution for the fire radio system, which divides the costs of each of the 17 municipalities based on weighted assessment. The cost for North Algona Wilberforce is $13,022, which will be included in the 2024 budget. Appendix 4 is attached and shows the costs for each municipality based on the weighted assessment. And that is my mayor's address. Also attached are the Renfrew County Council AMO delegation papers and the appendix for the fire radio system. So I have a motion that the September 5th, 2023 mayor's address and attached information documents are accepted as presented. Moved by Councillor Bucknell, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments? Seeing none, Councillor Burke? Yes. Councillor Bucknell? Yes. Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Recchi-Fontaine?
Yes.
And yes, that is carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, then we'll move on to item number 5 is with the adoption of the minutes. Now I have a motion that the August 15th, 2023 public zoning minutes and the August 15th, 2023 regular minutes be accepted as presented. Moved by Councillor Recchi-Fontaine, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Are there any additions, corrections, or omissions? Seeing none, Councillor Burke? Yes. Councillor Bucknell? Yes. Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Recchi-Fontaine?
Yeah.
And a yes. Very good. We have no delegations tonight, so we'll move on to reports. Item 7.1 is the Ottawa Valley Food Co-op mural at 675 Snowdrifters. And I have a motion that council accepts the Ottawa Valley Food Cooperative mural at 675 Snowdrifters Road report as presented, and further that council approves the installation of the mural proposed by the OVCA. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Birch. Comments or questions? Councillor Richards.
Is it not gonna have like a name on it? It's not, because I don't see a name. And I'm just wondering, is it gonna be detachable? So I've seen some murals, like there's some in Pembroke where, I don't know, they must be put on with a specific plywood and then they're somehow fixed onto the building itself. I just thought in that way, if something were to happen, it might be easier to take it off and just a structural comment.
All very good questions.
Just looking at the graphic that's in there, it looks like it's gonna be a 4x8 sheet, I'm assuming on that. If it's the same, if it's just coming from the same place that the ones came from in Golden Lake, I'm assuming they're just gonna do it on plywood and attach it.
Yeah.
As long as it's one piece of plywood and attached on.
Yeah.
I think it would just be much more tidy and neat, and if something were to happen, they can pop it off as opposed to having to repaint and that. But I was surprised that there wasn't like a title or something, but that's theirs to the.
And we can try this comment.
Okay.
We go up and America can make the so the murals that the township has installed have been done on plywood or material attached to the building.
Like, I'm just thinking a title would be nice, because if somebody goes there and they'll think like, what is going on here with these vegetables and that?
And that was my comment when I saw the picture as well.
Yeah, I mean, they could put it in the hot dog or on the sandwich or something. I mean, because to me, this is like a form of branding, right? So.
And that's the reason the colors are green and bluish purple. That's the branding color.
Oh, that's their colors?
That is their colors.
Okay, well, like something like with their like logo or their acronym would be maybe.
Yeah, even if they would have their acronym, but that's.
Just a thought, that's their suggestion.
Yeah, that was sort of what I was thinking. I would suspect that they're gonna have to put some kind of sign with the name, a name on it. I would hope, probably something a little just over the door maybe, but.
Well, apparently at Patchester, they never wanted to put a name on it. Just because then if somebody was looking for a daycare to adopt kids, they would not know what that building was, right? But you would know because you were taking a child, right? Anyway, they did change that later on, but initially they just had the big star. I don't think anybody's gonna get the vegetables though.
Seeing no other comments, I'll call the vote. Councillor Burke.
Yes.
Councillor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Reggie Thompson.
Yeah,
Yes. That's carried. Thank you. Item 7.2 is the recreation coordinator end of summer report, and I have a motion that council accepts the recreation coordinator end of summer report as information. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Burke. Comments or questions? Councillor Reggie Thompson.
Ferdinand, could you forward that for the rec committee meeting? Yeah. And also, I just thought at one time when we had talked about what that person was gonna do and looking after the summer students on Fridays because Public Works wasn't in, I thought they were gonna like do something with their front when we first walked in, like cleaned it or something. Was that not, like, I thought that was kind of a plan.
It was clean during the summer by our Public Works students. It's just a continual process.
Well, it's crazy spiders.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because it kind of, the spiders must have came back with a
It's an
vengeance.
ongoing process.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Robinson.
I just wanted to make a comment on the report
Yeah,
itself.
sure.
Well, it's very comprehensive, very detailed, and it gives us an appreciation of all that she did, which was very valuable to the community.
And I did send her a thank you, before her last day,
Mhm.
because I was at the park the one afternoon when she was, working out of the trailer, the lending hub. And the interaction that I observed with parents and the kids alike, she was amazing.
Mhm.
How comfortable she could make the children and get them to talk
Mhm.
and also deal with the parents at the same time. Like, she really, really did a good job.
Yeah, she was very engaging with the community.
Yeah, a great ambassador, like I said, you became a great ambassador for our municipality. And
Mhm.
I think word of mouth had people coming there to use the lending hub. And that day I was there was the first time the bicycles had ever been in.
Oh, yeah?
So,
That's excellent.
any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yeah.
Councilor Rector.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, that's fair. Thank you. Item 7.3 is an amendment bylaw 2023-05 that council amends bylaw 2023-06. Also, is one of them a misprint? The motion is saying bylaw 06, the title is saying bylaw 05.
It should be five, it should be five.
It should be 5, okay? So the council amends bylaw 2023-05, a bylaw to authorize appointments to appoint as follows. The weed inspector, the county weed inspector will now be Richard Bolduc, and the recreation committee member, which will be Sandra Swain. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Byrd. Comments or questions? I'll start with Councilor Rector.
so I'm assuming the other person doesn't want to join, or I know they haven't sent in their, criminal background check, but
We're still waiting. some
But they-
documentation.
okay, and they still know about it. And the other thing too is, when I was trying to find out somebody that was on a committee, it was difficult for me to pull up that, the authorization of appointments, like on the website. I'm just wondering if there would be an easier way to find that, like if that would be on the website somewhere. Like I really looked and I couldn't find it with the search tool. I'm just thinking that might be something people might want to, like especially the fence viewer or the weed inspector or the livestock, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying it could be, like I tried to check under all our departments and I couldn't figure it out.
Yes, go ahead.
It could be moved under most frequently requested,
Okay,
put it there.
okay, that would be good. That's the point.
Councilor Buckwell.
Two things. One, just to follow up on what we just talked about. Would it be possible just to list all the committees right on the website, have a tab for committees?
We probably could somehow.
Because, you know, just like we have the one for council, and we have one for fire and that, if we get list committees there, that might make it simpler. And the initial point that I had is, do we have to actually name someone in the bylaw? Can we just say that it'll be the county weed inspector? And then we don't have to address this again in the future, as far as the weed inspector goes anyway.
So usually the county weed inspector is appointed for multiple years. So this is the first time, that appointment has changed the county level. I would say probably for 8 years or more.
At least 10 years or more, and it's only because the former weed inspector took a different position at the county, so.
And I'm just saying to streamline things in the future.
Isn't it like a liability issue or something like that? Because they're part of our township kind of under our employment, right? Even though it's through the county. I thought there was a reason, even for the recreation committee members, that we had to have them listed and stuff like that through bylaw.
Well, as part of our terms of reference and whatnot, they have to be appointed by bylaw. And are procedure bylaw.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if, it might be helpful, and I don't know how we would do that, if it would just be part of maybe part of our newsletter. But the weed inspector, anybody who notices, or has a problem with weeds along in front of their property. It's just a matter of notifying the county, and they usually like to know a year in advance, so when they plan for their spraying the following year, then they know which areas that have been identified. Because I know I had them the one year, they sprayed for the giant parsnip and the poison ivy along the road in front of my place, and I said, well, that was fine for the one year, but the poison ivy is all back, and they said you should just keep letting them know, and they'll come back in subsequent years. Yeah,
The weed inspector, you could probably include under our staff contact. So if anybody,
yeah,
we're reviewing our staff contact, they would see it, they would see that in it.
But even like the fence viewers and the livestock, like, because those are ones that people might frequent.
thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burke? Yes. Councilor Buckle?
Yes.
Councilor Robinson?
Yes,
Councilor Rector?
Yes,
Very good. Item 7.4 is the pop-up stage, and I have a motion, council accepts the pop-up stage from Pembroke Business Improvement Area Report is presented, and thirdly, the council allocates funding from the special projects other expenses budget line to purchase the stage. Can I get a mover in a second? Moved by Councilor Burke, seconded by Councilor Buckle. Comments, questions? Councilor Rector?
it seems like a good value, but like, what do you think would be using it for?
I think the plan was that if we started having any sort of events at the Snowdrifters, like a music event, it could be used as a stage or some other type of community event that it could be used as a stage. Was there anything? Yes.
That's similar name, yes. So if we were having a musical event, the band would perform on the stage.
Councilor Buckle.
I'm in favor of, the only comment I'm gonna make is those look like those are 12-foot beams. You're gonna have an awfully hard time getting those around the corner into the basement. I'd suggest reaching out to the fire chief. Because the old storage building there that the fire department's been using, now that we have access to the donated burn house on Rougeau Road. We may not necessarily need to use the maze structure that's in there. So that might be able to be moved out of the way and give you a better spot for storage. And if need be, if we need the additional storage, because I was actually in there about a week ago looking at stuff. There's not a lot of stuff as far as fire storage in there that would need to come out. A lot of it is just like the mazes that we have set up. They could probably be moved to make enough room to put this in. So it'll be easier to get in and out when it's needed.
No, that's a good idea, because the sections don't look like they're real light.
No.
So,
And again, if you can do that, because I was looking even at the platform pieces.
I didn't even see that though. Did you see the pieces? How did you
Yeah.
see the pieces?
with the picture,
They're in the latest agenda,
Oh,
in which channel?
the latest.
That today.
oh, see, but I did, it must have been added after, because I saved it this morning around.
I always do mine about 5:30,
No, I usually do my.
because I know you ladies work very late and hard into the day, and we don't wind up with updates.
5:30 today.
Oh, see, I do mine,
I do it
Mine yesterday.
when I'm getting ready to leave.
is there more, just
Can you see?
That one.
and then,
Like in Fred-
Oh, the ladder there, right there.
oh,
You're not gonna get that around the corner, going into the basement.
no, and you're right, they look pretty heavy.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Looks like they do join in the middle, but yes, they're still.
Yeah.
There's a beam.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is.
Okay, that was different than I thought, like the school is a portable stage, but it doesn't look like that.
no, the stool, and that's what I was thinking too. It's metal and it breaks down a lot,
Yeah.
a lot more compact and a little lighter pieces to carry around.
Because I'm looking at that, because even though the 6 actual pieces of platform, you wouldn't have to unscrew those, because those, you definitely won't fit in the basement
No,
at the schoolhouse. But those two people could wheel those up either there, because you can back right up to the ramp. and right off the trailer, right in up against the wall, and then your other stuff would be, hand bombed in. But that'd be my suggestion as far as storage goes.
That's a really great idea, I think.
Because, you know, the chief might go along with that if, you know, he was able to get a sea can at Golden Lake too down the road.
Don't we have a sea can there now?
Water right.
No, but I thought we had a sea can there when Public Works was,
We had talked about it, but then when we did the,
There's a
move to Carl.
oh, we never ever got a sea can?
No.
Oh, I thought we had.
There's a sea can container going there,
There is,
behind the one shed there. Between the salt shed and the sand shed, there's one back in the corner there. I'm sure there is actually.
Yeah, I thought I
Did they
did,
not use it for
I thought I did see
the
one.
little tractor when we, before we bought Carl's Auto?
Yeah, that's what I thought
No,
too.
no, the little tractor used to sit inside the hall in between the two fire trucks.
Yeah, but when we gave the fire hall to the fire department, the first winter,
It was still in there.
Was it? I do don't think Council Woodburn have seen them there, but maybe I've seen them.
they painted it black actually.
Okay, it might be in, the brush truck, that I haven't seen it.
It's just between the two of them, like in
Could see if
the one
it's
here,
there,
one shed is here, it's right in the center there.
see if it's there, and then we'll tell the fire chief for sure.
Yeah.
We'll get you one if he let us do that.
I don't foresee it being a problem, just the stuff that's in there, it's just we have to put that, the stuff that's in there somewhere.
Right,
And we really don't want to clutter up the hall again the way it is.
The next,
It's being kept clean and everything right now, so.
let's keep it that way.
Exactly.
okay. Any other comments? Seeing none, Council Burke,
Yes,
Council Buckler,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
Yeah,
Council Radicchio,
yes,
and yes, it is carried, thank you. Item 7.5 is the New Horizons for Seniors Grant, and I have a motion that council accepts the New Horizons for Seniors Grant report as presented. And authorizes special projects coordinator to apply for the New Horizons for Seniors grants to offer senior programming at the Golden Lake Hall. You're gonna move it, moved by Councilor Adamson, seconded by Councilor Burke. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burke,
yes,
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Radicchio,
yes.
and a yes. So it's very, thank you. Item 7.6 is the office phone system, and I have a motion the council accepts the office phone system report as information. And you're moving the second. Moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions?
Could you
Councilor
bring,
Radicchio.
could you bring the report up, because I never got that. Thanks. Please. That is a great idea. Because like lots of times I'm thinking like, is there nobody there? I'm sure somebody's there. It's not Wednesday and it just seemed to go on. And then when you got to all the extension people, then it just seemed to took a long time. Now, I can't remember, does it have, if you know the extension, you can dial it at any time? Is that a prompt in there? Because I'm just thinking like, for instance, if I was know it's 200 is gone or whatever, right? Then I wouldn't have to listen to the whole thing. I could just dial 200. I know at one of the hospitals you can do that, but I'm not sure if that system allows that or not.
It would,
It will, yes.
Then could you maybe put that prompt in?
Not currently because we don't have enough time to
Okay.
get all the information in there.
Okay,
That's our
all right. Well,
recording time.
You have to pay for more time.
No, it's just a different part of the program that we're waiting for.
okay, so the one thing then you could, because it said, remember at the very end, it said, normal business hours because of the summer, the Wednesdays, but if you took that off, then you'd be able to put the prompt in for now.
For county business hours, press 9
Yeah,
and make it a separate message.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we're not in the right part of the program to do it properly.
Okay.
So we've done what we can to get it through until.
And then they're gonna fix it up for you. Okay, great.
And you found a contact that can do that?
Yeah, who's on holidays.
Probably goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes,
Councilor Rector Shanto,
Yes,
and yes, for the carry, thank you. And item 9.1 are non-action items, and I have a motion of correspondence items 9.1.1 to 9.1.11 be accepted as information. Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Robinson. And a lot of those information items are just a result of stuff coming out of the annual conference, so that's why there was quite a bit of reading. Call the vote then. Oh, sorry, Councilor.
so this was just a thought I was reading, when I was reading the Windsor Essex and all the stuff they had put forward. Sometimes it would be nice if there was on our website or the counties too, so if there was a woman in crisis, just some numbers they could call. Do you know, I don't know what we'd call that or not, but I know at school, like there's, you know, and so, you know, it might just be helpful if you had to call Bernadette McCann House. Like, here's the telephone number if you needed to call.
Like social support.
Yeah, social supports. I'm just thinking if somebody was in crisis, it would be nice for them to say, oh, okay, maybe if I called these people, they could help me. Just a thought. Because when I was reading, because it was pretty extensive what Windsor Essex had done, right? And I was just thinking like, you know, probably on their website, they do have telephone numbers you could call, like sexual assault, that's a good one, victim services, that's a good one, crisis and walk-in visits, like the Robbie Dean Center, any of those things.
And this is something, and I think that report is finally very close to completion, and that's the community safety and well-being plan. And I think that's something that they're gonna have
All the resources in there.
listed,
Right.
because that's the whole idea is how can we coordinate all those various services.
And whether that would be a tab, like Councillor Buckwald said, and you just did that, you know what I mean? And then sometimes I still think like, even if we did have a town hall meeting somewhere where we could say, hey, these are some of the new things that you might have not realized that we have, like the weed person, and just say, or maybe not that weed person, but just be able to say, if you have noxious weeds or something like that, here's a person, and you might be like, you know, it's just another communication tool.
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, Council Byrd,
Yes.
Council Buckwell,
Yes.
Council Robinson,
yes,
Council Ray.
Yes,
And yes, very good. Item 9.2.1 is the Round Lake Property Owners Association. And I have a motion that council provide a letter of support to the Round Lake Property Owners Association for funding from the Aquatic Invasive Species Fund to prevent the spread of zebra mussels. And again, we're going to second it by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Hudson. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Reggie Tonto.
yes,
Yes, that's carried. Thank you. Just like
You confused me there.
Item 9.2.2 is the Valley Heritage Radio. And I have a motion that council grants permission to Valley Heritage Radio to sell 50/50 fundraising tickets within the municipality of North Algona Wilberforce and authorizes the clerk treasurer to sign the approval letter. Moved by Councilor Byrd, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments, questions? Seeing none, Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Reggie Stonto.
yes.
And a yes. That's carried. Thank you. And item 9.2.3 is the Women of Ontario Say No. And I have a motion, whereas all Ontarians deserve and expect a safe and respectful workplace, whereas municipal governments, as a democratic institution, most directly engaged with Ontarians, need respectful discourse. Whereas several incidents in recent years of disrespectful behavior and workplace harassment have occurred amongst members of municipal councils. Whereas these incidents seriously and negatively affect the people involved and lower public perceptions of local governments. Whereas municipal codes of conduct are helpful tools to set expectations of council member behavior. Whereas municipal governments do not have the necessary tools to adequately enforce compliance with municipal codes of conduct. Now, therefore, be it resolved that North Algona Wilberforce Township supports the call of the Association of Municipalities of Ontario for the Government of Ontario to introduce legislation to strengthen municipal codes of conduct and compliance with them in consultation with municipal governments. Also be it resolved that the legislation encompass the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's recommendations for updating municipal codes of conduct to account for workplace safety and harassment, creating a flexible administrative penalty regime adapted to the local economic and financial circumstances of the municipalities across Ontario, increased training of municipal integrity commissioners to enhance consistency of investigations and recommendations across the province, allowing municipalities to apply to a member of the judiciary to remove a city member if recommended through a report of a municipal integrity commissioner, and prohibit a member so removed from sitting for election in the term of removal and the subsequent term of office. Move in the second, moved by Councilor Burke, seconded by Councilor Reddish. Comments or questions? Yes, Councilor Valentin.
I just have one concern about the legislation. Is that everything about it is very strong, except that if someone wants to get rid of someone on council, this gives them the whole council the right to just get rid of someone. That's the concern that I have about it. Because it's saying that if I take anyone off, everybody can just basically, with the letter from the commissioner, the integrity commissioner, say this person is gone, and they have no right after that. That's the only issue I have with it.
I think some of this stemmed from the Ottawa councillor, where basically nothing could be done to get him removed from his seat, when everybody there for his conduct said he should be gone. So I'm thinking that if you have something grievous like that, then the person should be removed and not just in there just to collect the money. I can't see this if me and you had a major disagreement about something, then I can't see like everybody else saying, oh yeah, Maria's gone because of that. So I think you're kind of somewhat protected, because I really don't think too many times it would turn into like some kind of, I'm ticked off at that one counselor and everybody else is, so this is how we're gonna get rid of them.
This certainly was a topic that was raised at the annual conference, and that was one of the comments from one of the MPPs who had the same hesitation to support the wording as it currently exists, because it might mean that, especially for people of visible minorities, may become a target from the rest of the council who wanted to create an environment for them that was not necessarily in the intent of what the language was proposing. Yes.
Oh, and my comment was going to be, so just looking after the resolution, so it's the resolution does say, so you do have to apply to the member to just judiciary, so a judge would hear the case, And then would, based on the evidence, decide if the member should be, removed or not.
So I guess in that case, if they felt it was a racial thing, the judge would say, no, there's no grounds here. It looks like the council's picking on this person because of that, right?
Yeah, Councilor Buckle.
Well, as I see it from the resolution that we prepared is, we'd like to see better training for the commissioners. That's for the consistency, I like that. Allowing this judge to apply. So the municipality would actually have to be the one, so it would have to be the remainder of council. Applying to the bench to remove a member. And that would still have to be done only if recommended by the integrity commission. So I think there's some checks and balances there. It's like anything else, it can be misused and manipulated. I'm a little concerned with that too, but not enough to be opposed to it.
And this was something that certainly was brought forward to the annual conference and also to the government. To pass this, to give a little more strength to the codes of conduct. But they didn't move forward with it either. They wanted to take a closer look at making sure that they wanted to make sure that it was fair for everyone.
I know the previous bill that's referred to in the supporting material from Bill 5. Yeah, it didn't have as much for checks and balances as we're proposing here. Because that one would have been very easily been misused.
Mhm.
But any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burns,
Yeah,
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
No.
okay. No, Councilor Rector.
Yes.
Yes, so carried. Okay. Item 9.2.4 is the Enbridge proposed gas expansion project, and I have a motion that council authorizes the mayor to sign a letter of support for the Enbridge gas Eganville expansion project. Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burns,
yes,
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Rector.
Yes.
And a yes, that's carried, thank you. Item 9.2.5. 2024, and I have a motion that council supports participating in discussions brainstorming with Boncher Cup Committee and Boncher Valley Township to promote the community and local businesses during the Boncher Cup 2024 races. Moved by Councilor Burke, seconded by Councilor. Comments or questions? Councilor Rector.
Would Miss Montgomery be our person that would go there? Is that what you're thinking, or?
Yeah.
That's council's suggestion or recommendation, yeah.
Right.
I suppose we could have more than one person or.
Council people, decide on more than one.
You know,
Right.
Just a thought, would we like to share this opportunity with some of our tourism operators? And see if they would come on board as it may be an ad hoc group.
did you have something in mind or?
Well, I'm just thinking that we've got. We have accommodations, so we have other people like at the Sands, where they're already involved with snowmobiling. The trail goes right past the property. We have the caves, which is a huge draw.
Right.
In the area, again, not open to go through the cave at that time of year. But again, a good advertising.
His involvement in tourism is quite strong.
He's in that, cycling, you name it.
Mhm.
And Chris is very well spoken. He'd be very, I think, a very good ambassador as well,
Mhm.
for this type of thing. And again, maybe other council have some ideas of others in the community that might, be beneficial to work with the comp committee.
Sure.
I was just wondering, I could ask if the council would agree, anybody, member of the rec committee that might wanna. Because basically it's just a brainstorming thing where they're probably trying to think of it, so I could pose that at our next meeting, maybe.
You can start only
Yeah.
because they are very much into
Yeah.
the outdoors.
But I guess what they're trying to do is, it's more like the cup thing as opposed to the trail thing, right? But still, there might be something.
We can put our new stage up there with portable tourist booth.
I'll just suggestion.
Yeah.
Well, and even we could say we do have a portable stage that we might be able to use after. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we have anyone in specific other than Montgomery? Is there a member of council?
I'm gonna ask the rec committee and see if there's somebody there.
I think that's a good direction to go with it because, again, let's face it, most of our tourism is based on recreation.
Yeah.
So then were you gonna get back to Ms. Rath? Is that what you're gonna do? Because what we could do is just, if you want it right away, you could say, we're gonna wait to see what happens at our rec committee meeting next week, I think.
We can, we'll contact.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know if they have a schedule and they want to start meetings and how many they're usually involved in planning and, yeah.
We'll, okay.
And then, yeah, we're gonna see if she'd be willing to. Perfect.
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burke,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell, Councilor Robinson,
Yeah,
Councilor Anderson,
Yes.
and yeah. Very good. Item 9.2.6 is transit funding, and I have a motion that council supports Algona Wilberforce in collaboration with Township and Whitewater Region to apply to the Rural Transit Fund for a pilot project for public charging stations and electric ride-share vehicles. And that the township share, no more than 17,000 over 5 years towards the project, if expected revenue is realized. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Burke. Comments, questions? Did you have your hand up?
I know.
Oh, okay. Councilor Richardson.
So our cost would be $17,000, correct? If we just,
That's the projected cost, yeah.
okay, because I do have some questions, like, so there's kind of 3 municipalities. Where would the charger units be? How would members of our township be able to access? How would you access, like, is there a way that, like, could I use it every week, or like, once I use it, then I can't use it for another month or something like that? And then I also had some questions about like the maintenance and stuff like that, the maintenance costs. You know, because I don't like when they say a guesstimate. Insurance is a guesstimate, and software was a guesstimate. So Carlton Place is our nearest municipality that's close. Like, I was hoping that perhaps they would have talked to them. You know, I'm just thinking, like, I can see in Whitewater, there's more people that could walk to the charging station or to get the car, and maybe even in BV, but I'm thinking like around here, where would we put it so people could use it? If they have to walk to get it, it might not be as good as, I'm going like, by the tourist booth might be perfect. Okay, those are my questions.
Councilor Robinson.
no, I was just gonna say that, I had spoken to the person, the company that would be, partnering with this project. And one of the things that they say is that we would decide where we would put it. And from personal experience, the Kalulu charging station was placed beside the tourist booth so that as it's charging, they can actually meander within the community, at the stores, get some food to eat and so on. And what the gentleman did say was that what they have found from experience, that the usership of the charging stations, the funds that comes back to us would allow for this to be paid off a lot sooner than what the timeline of the grant or that we have to pay.
So the person would charge their vehicle and then those monies would go back to the cottage pool right here. I guess it's just, my big thing is always liability, so if we rent it out to somebody and they total a car. Right, I guess insurance pays for it, I guess.
It would be their insurance. It's just like now, if you go to a gas station and something happens to your car, you're not gonna go to the gas station and say that my car is stolen.
Yeah, I know, but if I let a person, Jane Doe, take the car and she runs into the ditch, right? So then our insurance, so it's somebody's insurance, and who actually controls that insurance? Because, I mean, would Whitewater be the person that the insurance plan is? Like, I don't think you could get an insurance plan with the three municipalities.
I would think that, each municipality would obtain their own insurance for their
For the vehicle.
and would be covered under our municipal, fleet policy, yeah.
That's about all.
Just wondering, because I know I've seen like ride share set up in some of the cities like this for vehicles like this. And they usually have the advertising on them for the corporate provider as opposed to the municipality. So I'm assuming that, again, there's not a lot of background here, but I think it's something to investigate is if they would do that. And basically, if they carried the insurance, and then that would be part of your rental fee, would be for the insurance, to cover the insurance. Just like when you rent a regular car,
Right.
right?
It's
Just instead of going to them, we're doing it here at a lower rate. Again, for lesser use.
So DD is the lead on this, and they think the application deadline is the 18th. It's fairly close, so that's why they were hoping to get a decision. They actually brought it to county council, and we're hoping that the county would maybe want to take it on as a pilot. But county they didn't have enough information to make a decision at that meeting. And so there wasn't enough time to try and get it. Well, there wasn't enough time on the funding application to bring it to the next county council meeting. So the thought was, well, the three of us could go together, do a pilot, which may then bring the county in at a later date on a bigger scale, because things like Ontario Works, they saw a real need where this could help, where they're trying to get people back into the workforce, but some people don't have transportation. So this could allow them an opportunity then to commute to a workplace, or somebody maybe, older people who don't want to maintain or can't afford to maintain a vehicle will have an opportunity to utilize this as well. So that was the thought behind it.
It just seems not enough vehicles for the three municipalities in that population. Like, so you're trying to plug a hole with your thumb when it should be plugged with a baseball or something. I just don't know how. I guess nothing ventured, nothing gained, and maybe it'll open it up to say, yeah, we can do more of this, but to me, it's like only 3 vehicles. I don't know, like if I was using it to commute to work, basically, and then that vehicle's tied up all day, right? Now, once a month, if I needed to go into town, to the doctor's office, like, I guess that could work, but I just think, like, how would that person get to the place to get the car with a car? So then I might be just using that person to take me to the doctor's office. Like, I can see in a bigger area, like let's say Pembroke, right? Where the person could walk there and then use it to go down to Ottawa because they have a doctor's appointment or something else. I just don't think it's gonna work.
Yes.
I think my concern too, because again, if you're looking at one of the location being in Golden Way, you need an electric vehicle that has the capacity to go to Pembroke or Renfrew or Bears Bay. So that limits what vehicles you can have to have that mileage to be able to get back, because they may not necessarily have a place to charge in Bears Bay or in Pembroke, so there has to be enough to come back. So yeah, it would depend on what kind of vehicles you're looking at as well. I think there's a lot of questions to it. I don't see a problem with putting in the application.
And I mean, yeah.
That's like
You can put in
3,500 a
the-
year.
Yeah, you can put in the application, you know, kind of say.
You can always say, exactly.
You know, how the rest of the, we're not getting the proper feedback that we were hoping for.
Well, and it does seem like one of those things that the government does, it's a great idea, then you don't have time to research or to talk to anybody because the deadline for the application's there. It just seems like you get pushed into a decision you may or may not agree with simply because you don't have all the information.
And then if we do, we have to make sure that we keep that information if there's a better opportunity comes up down the road. And a little bit off topic, but that's something we need to do is keep those things that we've applied for in the past in an active file, so that when something comes up, it can be easily modified for new opportunities like this, and they don't have it. I think it's worthwhile looking into, so I'm fine with supporting the application for the grant.
But if we agree to it and we get the grant, then we have to, then we are going to pay the $17,000.
No,
Over 5 years.
Yeah, but we are still gonna pay the $17,000, right?
but one of the things that is said was that grant could go in, and it may well be that the grant is just gonna end up giving us the charging
Station and not the
and
cars,
not the cars.
which we had discussed before. We put an application in for charging stations before.
Yeah, so I think that it's.
I think it's overall.
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burt,
Yeah,
Dr. Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes,
Councilor Rector Schoenfeld.
No,
I mean, it's so much. And so item number 10 is bylaws. And I have a motion now therefore the council of North Algona Wilberforce to enact the following bylaw. Bylaw 2023-42, a bylaw to authorize appointments and repeal bylaw 2023-05. So these are just changes to our list of appointments, okay. Moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Questions? Being none, Councilor Burt,
yes,
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Rector Schoenfeld,
yeah,
yes, it's carried, thank you. Item 14, yeah, do we have any matters of urgency? Any notice of motion? Reports from committees we've done, so upcoming meetings and unfinished business. We have the unopened road allowance, and I have a motion that council accepts the report as presented. And the council does not approve the sale of the unopened road allowance between concession 1 and concession 2, part lot 5, geographic township of North Algona at this time, as MTO has not finalized the plans for the Highway 60 and Lake Dory Road intersection improvements. And further, the applicant will be advised to resubmit the application when plans have been finalized. Okay, we're in the second here, moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Burt. Comments or questions?
can they put a map up of this? Of this, what do you want to purchase?
With the section in between the blue lines.
There's your here.
Well, I don't think the highways are going to use that portion of for the new development and whatever you're going to do there. Not like halfway down, like, it doesn't line up with the bridge, nothing.
But some of the proposals are, could utilize this section of the unopened road plans.
Yeah, if they go with the traffic circle, they intersect and closer to River Road and coming around that way, that's roughly about where they project it coming down. With a couple, with at least one of them.
But he just wants to buy at the lake shore.
He has applied to to purchase this entire thing.
The whole,
everything in blue. But it's not just the shoreline, he wants the open road allowance that goes through there. Just the road.
oh, I didn't think you wanted that, no. I thought he was just talking about the front down here where he wants to build another. So he bought right into the corner?
I'm not sure.
This is the piece of property that we had purchased.
Right next to for the dry hydrant.
Yeah, yeah.
By purchasing that road allowance, it just gives him, another, is that a 66-foot, right of way?
It would be 66, yeah.
Or we'll just give him that extra piece of land, which he can always resubmit his application once every, final design or, I would.
I'm the only, like. I agree that it's not the right time, but the only question I would have, but I don't know if it's clear in there. Where exactly his house is gonna go. Because he can't build on that road allowance. So I'm just wondering if that would affect his building plans.
Well, I drove in there and they were actually working there today, and he wants to build right down at the water, like. He had tickets in there and everything already. So like he's only, like if he wants to buy the whole thing, like I'm against that too. They don't know Highway 60, don't know what they're doing yet. No, I thought he just wanted to buy the front half, like where he wants to build.
Oh, wait, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
But like, I think it's just a good suggestion, wait and see,
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah, no,
resubmit.
Because even if it comes down to it, if it does affect his building, he can always make an application for us to
Yeah.
allow him to build on there until it's sorted out.
Yeah.
Okay, so seeing no other comments, I'll call a vote. Councilor Birch,
no,
Councilor Buckle,
Yes. Because our resolution is to not approve the sale, correct?
that's right, yes.
oh. Yes,
Okay,
I changed my vote.
That's why I was wondering, it's like,
That's not what you were saying.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Reddish.
Yes,
Yes, that's very okay. So like 14.2 is the Recreation Committee. Next meeting being September the 11th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Our next meeting of council will be September the 19th, 2023 at 7 p.m. And that brings us to item 15. I have a motion that the council go into closed session pursuant to section 239, 2BD, DND of the Municipal Act. We're going to do personal matters about an identified individual, 2 labor relations or employment negotiations, and 1 acquisition or disposition of land. You got to move in a second, moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckle. Then we will be going into closed at 7:58 p.m. 16.1 is the 4th Street Parquet. I have a motion that that proceed as directed and closed. There was really no
no
direction.
direction.
Do we even need that one?
And it
It was
was
more, it was just an information.
Yeah, well, it was, but there was,
All direction to follow along. Moved by Councilor Burke. Seconded by Councilor Buckle. Councilor Burke,
Yeah,
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes.
Councilor Reddish.
yes.
And yes, that's very perfect. Item 16.2 is human resources, and I have motion that staff proceed as directed and closed. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckle. Being none, Councilor Bird.
yes.
Councilor Buckle.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Reddish.
Yes.
Everyone else. Very good. Item 16.3 is, the long-term rental of flow drifters. And I have a motion to staff proceed as directed and closed. Moved by Councilor, second by Councilor Buckhead. Councilor,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes,
Councilor Rachel Stonewall.
Yes,
Yes. Very good. Item 16.4, human resources, I have a motion to proceed as directed and closed, moved by Councilor Byrd, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Rachel Stonewall,
yes,
yes. Very good. Item number 17 is confirmatory bylaw 2023-43, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for September 2023. We read it first and second time this 5th day of September 2023. Read a third time and finally passed this 5th, and then over to second and first, moved by Councilor Ray Stonewall, seconded by Councilor Robinson. He read a third time and finally passed this 5th day of September 2023. Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Ray Stonewall.
yes,
Yeah, very good. And item number 18 is adjournment that this September 5th, 2023, regular meeting of council adjourned at 9:48 p.m. Councilor Byrd. Councilor Byrd,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yep.
Councilor Robinson,
yes.
Councilor Rachel Stonewall.
yes.
Yes, very. Thank you, you're adjourned. Melvin, have a great trip.